comes to gluten-free pancakes, it's quite difficult to find a good recipe, one that doesn't just taste like gooey, pasty flour. So I, after trying 2 or 3 recipes, decided to create this recipe which has a little bit of hardiness and texture to it. Now my 8-year-old daughter actually prefers these pancakes over our regular pancakes. So I make these for her, and let's get started. What you're going to need is, I have 3 cups of brown rice flour that has been ground up, 9 tablespoons of tapioca flour, 1 cup of potato starch, 1 cup of almond meal. You can grind up your own almonds, or usually you can find it already ground up for you. 3/4 cup of cornmeal. I'm going to stir those up a little bit before I add the next ingredients. Okay, now let's go ahead and put in 5 teaspoons of baking powder, 1½ teaspoons of baking soda, 1½ teaspoons of sea salt, 1½ teaspoons of xanthan gum, and we are going to use flax today that has been ground up. You'll need 6 tablespoons. This replaces the eggs. A lot of people who have gluten intolerance might also be intolerant to eggs. So this is egg-free and soy-free and gluten-free. Go ahead and stir all that up. If you don't know much about flax, you can check out my How to Grind Flax video. Now, this recipe makes enough for a large family. So what you're going to want to do, once you have it all mixed up, grab a Tupperware container and pour it in your Tupperware container. I'll just put some of it in. Put your lid on and store it. You don't want to have to make this recipe every time you want your gluten-free pancakes. So make a little bit more so it'll last you 5 or 6 times. Then when go ahead and make your pancakes for that day, if you take about a cup of your pancake mix and add that to at least a cup of water. Now you don't need oil in this recipe, but you can put it in if you want. So add your water and kind of play around with it. You might need a little bit more water, and then add a little vanilla, and go ahead and cook up your pancakes. And I have some right here that you can see. You can see that they're nice and golden, and these have been sitting for probably 30 minutes, so they've kind of settled down, but they are usually a little bit more fluffy. Now, one more key when you're cooking your pancakes, you don't want the batter to be as thin as you would with buttermilk or whole wheat pancakes. You want it to be a little bit more thick, because that's just how it is with gluten-free pancakes. They need that in order to cook evenly.